real surprised. Spurs got all those role players exactly where they want them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Y guy, the Leonard kid, Y Leonard, the Y Danny Green from North Carolina.
Awesome.
No. Like 2 rounds. Big
Intermission.
Yeah, that's 25. Not so right over watching that. That's orange. I'm like, oh, this is one of the best female bowlers in the world. He is. I would take her over anybody. What lane's John on? So she's better than John on 25.
what? Hey, you notice it wasn't 3,000 for the team. The team doesn't pay 3,000. $29.95. 75 cents.
So what?
So you don't have to say it, but they have to give you 10 and 9 for it.
Well, they still do now.
Or what?
Still get it for call student now.
Oh, yeah.
They were doing it until last year.
Yeah.
So the government made them do it now.
I think it's funny.
But it's still under $600 cash too. You have to write it down.
Wow.
Except for
Huh? Can't turn it to design human. Yeah. What other people we had? Uber, about 75, 87.
then we had gotta have it 4 or 5, whatever. All. finished 11th in the doubles, 7th in the other doubles. And carry.
Got to handle with us.
One of them. Got to have 4 or 5. 35.
Got to have him. That was Mario?
Yeah. 35, 52, and 40. Then we got to have a 10.
Still more tall.
Our trip this week. Here every day.
There is no money in that state for the actual single scratch, huh? What? $120 per scratch.
All of them. All of them.
All of it scratch? $3 and a quarter.
Higher than single. When I get my pocket.
All of them. All of them. They just cover your single, cover your team. Right. State the all of them. That option will only cover singles and doubles. So they're looking at $14.86.
Whatever you guys need.
There he is.
So where's the beer? You guys said you were having all the time. I saw the beer. I mean, what kind of crap
Hey,
is
you
this?
should have been here Friday.
Did you see the score? It's 3-0 from those White Sox.
Who?
Matt Cannizzaro,
Yes.
of all people.
No, I'm a White Sox fan.
Barb?
Yes,
No, if I didn't love you,
I know. It's okay.
no,
God, I knew I should have had
Jacket
it.
and call, and I'm coming to Baton Rouge. So those places freezing.
Well, Vegas is that way. Oh, they're all that way. The stadium, the first junior goal that they ever had was the stadium where Son Robbie Ball White Sox. It was so freezing there. And this Pendleton clothing store downstairs, and I got a wool sweater on the spot. It was in Vegas.
Oh, at the Junior Olympic Bowl? Oh, it was like 60 degrees in the building.
so what inning is it, sir? What inning is it?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was the top of the fourth, the White Sox were happy for
Yeah.
Done,
Good. It was nice.
Dunn and Beckham hit home run.
What is she doing close to you? She probably on the
I like that one. Was it at Kentucky? That was at Mississippi State, but still.
So what do you do with the positive on sweeper?
Well, I wouldn't be
Crazy.
as happy.
I wouldn't be as happy.
Oh, that's how, you know.
Don't worry, Barb. In October, you're going to be in the same place as
Oh,
Barb.
I know. This is the only glory we can have, you know?
Dave said, no shot. I thought I was a White Sox fan.
That was as good as the marble one. But we could put Matt Thornton in that picture. We could put him in there.
I like what you said, marble.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 100th day of the 2012
We tried that
USBC
yesterday.
Open
You guys
Championships.
scored 4 runs in the
Today's
bottom of
squad
the ninth.
consists of 43 teams.
That's how it
Take it a little bit there.
I didn't even see the score till the end. I was shaking. I was more shaky when they left Dinks and the bat. I go, why are they doing this?
Today we are honored to have 4 celebrities voting on the squad. On May 26th, this lady is the 2009 USBC Open Champion and the 1993, 94, and 2009 USA Trials Champion. She also won gold, silver, and bronze medals in the WTA World and Baton Rouge Championships from Chickawaga, New York. Team USA member Liz Johnson. On May 26th, from Houston, Texas, USBC Hall of Famer Gerald Norman. On May 26th, from New Hall, California, USBC Hall of Famer Robin Romeo. Lane 26 from Tacoma, Washington, we have USBC Hall of Famer Jeannie Nacarado. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand to honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Bowlers, you may now have 10 minutes of practice on your starting lanes.
Guy's your twin. What's his name?
This is a public here. They have Bud Light and Brady. But he's drinking a sock here, isn't he? You Bud Light there? Sock stand. Up.
Coordination right now. This is your favorite Cajun. Not Tommy Williams either. Probably in the last 2 years.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the USBC Open Championships. This is Matt Canizaro and Emil Williams Jr. coming to you live from the Baton Rouge River Center. Today we are behind lanes 25 and 26 here in this beautiful 48-lane facility. It is a fantastic Sunday afternoon. We appreciate everybody joining us. I believe there was an old saying, Sundays are for bowling, and here we are. Day 100 of the 2012 Open Championships, and we got a great show for you today. If you're a fan of bowling, there are some great names on this pair of lanes today. And of course, we tune in often for all kinds of different broadcasts and bowlers. Just the other day, we saw our defending team champ, Jeff Riggles, a USBC Hall of Famer, and probably one of the most famous faces here at the Open Championships. Today, we go down a little different path, and again, just like when Bill Lillard was in town, 8-time champion here at the tournament, it's just some folks that you just really enjoy watching, no matter how they perform, just being in their presence and knowing what they've accomplished in their careers. Should make it a lot of fun today. And we'll have Emil Williams Jr. here with the lineups for today's two teams.
Well, first for the Root Group. 25. Leading off from Houston, Texas, Bubba Haney. Bubba, actually his hometown from College Station, Texas. The team name on the scoreboard, or the hometown rather, from Houston. Corey Atkinson from Montgomery, Texas. Carlos Gonzalez from Pearland, Texas. And then in the 4 and 5, Paul Minier and Rick Minier. Paul from Richmond, Texas, and Rick also from Houston. And then on lane 26, host of Hall of Famers, Storm and Norman Pro Shop. Led by Donna Connors in the top spot, followed by Jeannie Nacarado, Robin Romeo in the 3-hole, Carol Norman in the 4, and Liz Johnson rounding out things in the anchor position for Storm and Norman Pro Shop. A lot of experience on this pair, a lot of titles on this pair, a lot of medals on this pair.
I will say, if you're a fan of women's bowling, and you had a TV in the 1990s at any point, you see some familiar faces there. Of course, Robin Romeo, Jeannie Nacarado, Carol Norman, USBC Hall of Famers. They have earned an awful lot in their careers, and we're glad to be able to bring this to you today. And of course, we have the opportunity not only to watch them on TV growing up, but to know them personally. And the things they do for the sport. We'll have plenty to talk about over the next 3 hours. And some other famous folks in the building today as well. Perhaps some of them might want to join us on the air. The USBC Hall of Famer Bill Spigner just a few feet away. His Pollard Bowl team will be on the lanes tomorrow night. And really, just everywhere you turn, Emil, celebrities these past couple weeks. It's been a lot of fun.
It has been. It's been a very interesting last few days. A lot of experience is in the building. A lot of experience has graced the live stream broadcast as well.
Well, here's our first look at Liz Johnson up on the right lane, and she gets a love tap on the 10-pin. So Liz has won just about everything there is to win in women's bowling, and she has held her own alongside the men as well. A second place finish out on the PBA Tour a couple of years back. And really, any big-time bowling event, she'll be there. And she just returned from Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of USBC. She was at their facility in Florida for the PABCON Champion of Champions event, where she took home some nice hardware to add to her collection just last week. So a little bit of a tune-up for her visit to the Open Championships here in Baton Rouge. And of course, the USBC Queens not too long ago. And coming up just next month now, the US Women's Open. So a lot of bowling to be had, and Liz always right out there and always a threat. So she's looking for a breakout year here at the Open Championship. She bowled exceptionally well in 2006 and owns the third highest all events total by a woman at the Open Championships, 21-17, looking to better that here in 2012.
It's her 8th appearance here at the Open Championships. Lowest all events total is the first year of the tournament. Stepped foot into Baton Rouge back in 2005. She shot 1864.
1864, a career low. Shake it off, Liz. She's a very talented young lady. Now looking to join the ranks of the other talented women. But Grace Delane's here at the Open Championships and taking home titles, including USBC Hall of Famer Wendy McPherson, the 2006 regular singles champ. Former Team USA member Brenda Padilla, a doubles record holder on the way to the regular doubles title in 2009.
It's always nice to see the women now perform, to have a chance to compete. They are just as good as any other male in the world in the sport today.
Carol Norman up on lane 25. I watched her bowl 298 last year in Syracuse at the Women's Championships. And we don't see her bowl too much. She's got the whole pro shop business going on. And actually, she worked at the Open Championships back in 2006, which was the last time I remember seeing her in the Storm booth. So she's been around this event for some time and definitely serves the bowling industry well. These ladies have dominated the Women's Championships, collecting all kinds of titles there as well. And now coming together here. Johnson started today with a strike, looking for a double early. Mixes him up, no problem. Liz likes to play the lanes relatively straight. That's her A game. Just to change some ball surfaces and kind of just go straight and hard at it, and it works everywhere she goes. Of course, as you saw in practice, the strategy is pretty simple. They were all playing outside, trying to break the lanes down a little bit, create a little bit of room. And then, as we've seen so many times, at that point, ball down, stay in the same spot, and then eventually start creeping in and using that as a bank area. And Liz, of course, with her high speed, will comfortably stay out there and have a little bit of area as well. So looking forward to seeing what kind of numbers she can put up today.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if she can put up something here in the team event and then throughout the next couple of days. Of course, as you mentioned, she can stay in that area. Most would tend to move in. And part of her strengths, be able to stay right and continue to strike.
Let's not forget about their companion team either, the Brew Crew from Houston. A couple familiar names at this event and out there in the PBA regional circuit and the senior tour. Corey Atkinson, very talented player as well. And their anchor bowler, Rick Manier, shot 299 at the Open Championships back in 2010. And he's always a threat to the leaderboards as well. So who knows what we're going to see today and tomorrow when they come back for doubles and singles at 9:20 in the morning. right, spare for Nacarado on the right lane. And now Robin Romeo is going to step up looking for her first strike here. Stormin Norman's Pro Shop clean through 2 frames, and so far here in the third. Romeo registers her first strike of the day, and a great shot there. Carol Norman's going to step up looking for her first strike as well. Definitely seen all of these ladies strike a lot in their careers, both in person and on ESPN. And they still got it. So another spare for Norman. Liz Johnson's going to step up on lane 26 and try to make it a 3-bagger here to start things off in 2012. She misses right, leaves the washout. But you know that because you're watching. One, 2, 4, 10.
Spare by Connors. Took 3 off the right on her first shot, which is so easy to do here this year. Want to hang on the outside, you miss right. Sometimes but just by a board or 2. The ball's going right and it's staying right. Nacarado follows with the strike. Strike, spare for Donna Connors. Spare, strike for Jeannie Nacarado. And that brings up Robin Romeo. She's looking for a double. Meanwhile, on the right lane, Corey Atkinson got his ball right early. 3 off the right, unfortunately. If you're tuning in for the first time, talked a lot about the lane pattern this year. take a look and see where you don't want your ball to go. Relatively straight angles, parallel down lane for the most part, at least early in the team, depending on how well you've broken down the pattern, if you chose to do that. Atkinson hit 6. He actually left the 4-pin, would have been a great shot earlier. Carlos Gonzalez, and he gets a bad break, which is 7-10. And Carol Norman up. That runs a little high, so she leaves the 6-7-10. Back-to-back splits. One by Romeo, now by Carol Norman. Live on 25 and 26. Those are your lanes, the venue, the Baton Rouge River Center. Right here in downtown Baton Rouge, the Red Stick. .230, team squad here. On day 100. 2012 Open Championships. Doesn't seem like 100 days has passed already, but it's going quickly.
How about that? Feels like we just rolled into town yesterday. It was actually January when I got here, and waiting for Mr. Williams to roll through as well. Great shot there by Liz Johnson. She gets back on her third strike in 4 frames. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. And this 2012 event kicked off February 11th and will run for 151 consecutive days until July 10th. It is the second longest tournament in history. It's 3 days shorter than the 2009 event in Las Vegas. And we are just under 12,000 teams this year heading back to Baton Rouge. We were here for the first time in 2005 and had a great time. And they apparently liked having us here, invited us back. And at our kickoff press conference, the first thing the mayor said was, "Welcome back, bowlers. Looking forward to the next 7 months." And the second thing he said was, "When can we get you all to come back? Get you on the schedule." They really enjoy the steady flow of traffic through the town and have rolled out the red carpet. A very warm and welcoming city, and a very delicious city at that. And Emil can attest to that, as he just gobbled up a bowl of gumbo right before we went on the air today.
That was breakfast for me.
We are, of course, in the venue almost 24/7. Bowling gets started for score at 7 a.m. And if everything goes according to plan, we get done about 2 a.m. Last night, ran a little bit late. We had some things going on, a lot of excitement. And Emil, what time did you get out of here last night?
Well, I think it was about 3:20, 3:25.
Relatively early night for you. Got home, got your 8 hours of beauty rest. Came back, grabbed your gumbo, and we're back at it.
Something like that. It's a pretty fair explanation.
We definitely have seen our share of excitement in my career here and yours as well. Not too long ago, started one day, came in about 9 a.m. and we had a live stream planned for 8:30 that night. That was April Ellis, Billy Murphy, and found out during that live stream not only was at a very talented squad, but shortly after, 2010 All-Events champ Matt McNeil was going to be taking the lanes for his doubles and singles, so we decided to stay on the air, and good thing we did. We saw history as McNeil became the first bowler in 109 years of tournament competition with 3 career 800s at the Open Championships. His have come in consecutive years, and this one was a biggie. It was 8:47 as he marched into the doubles lead with Charles Vashaw and took the all-events lead at 22:02. And his last 2 finishes in all events at the Open Championships, 1st and 3rd. So he's definitely the man to beat at this great tournament. And that night, what time did we get out of here? About 7 a.m.?
It was 7 a.m.
7 a.m. We had to make sure the world knew what happened at the Open Championships. Got the word out on bowl.com and in a press release. So if you're curious about that night or any other news here at the Open Championships, you can find it all on bowl.com. Just go to the Open Championships page or the Open Championships news page and find out all of the excitement. And you can also find out all the scores and highlights and pictures and blogs and all kinds of good stuff. And, same deal goes for the Women's Championships. So if you're a lady headed out to Reno and want to see what's going on out there, you can find the Women's Championships page. All kinds of great info. Earlier this week, we were visited by our defending doubles and defending team champs and broadcast them live on bowl.com, just like right now. And if you missed those, you want to check out those archives, you can find them on youtube.com/bowltv. Open Championships has become quite interactive. So no matter how you want to get your news, there's a way. Emil's checking the news right now. Checking the USBC Twitter feed. Twitter.com/USBC for the fastest headlines and all the news. It's even faster than bowling writer Jeff Riggles. Make sure you get on there, subscribe to that, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will never miss a beat from the USBC or the Open Championships. Does that about cover it?
I think so. That's pretty solid. We are versed in the social media world. Feel free to interact. I can't remember if Matt mentioned his Facebook page, but
I'm kind of shy about that.
Oh, okay.
But hey, if you want to go ahead.
That's cool. Matt Canizaro has his own Facebook page because he's a public figure. Fan page. We post some things and about the tournament. Some inside looks, things you wouldn't normally see or hear about. Go ahead and check Facebook.com, of course. Just search Matt Canizaro -USBC. You can also find USBC's own page there as well. Sport Bowling, USBC. If you'd like to tweet, of course, as Matt just mentioned, @USBC is the handle. Usually like to throw in the hashtag USBC Open. Get you all tweeted and retweeted out. You also interact personally with me if you'd like, @EWJR. In fact, I know several of our viewers have followed me. We've conversated back and forth, so we thank you for that. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing several of you when you make your way out. In fact, Chris, quick shout out to Chris Shipman, who's an avid viewer as well. Should be making his way pretty soon.
So far things going relatively well for Norman Pro Shop. Robin Romeo going to step up on lane 25. Great shot there for the Hall of Famer. Romeo, the 2009 Classic All Events champ at the Women's Championships. And the year before that, Liz Johnson took home the title. They can get it done. Both of them shooting well over 2,100. Just one title of many. Romeo also took home the All Events title in 1986. Carol Norman grabbed it in 1990. We could probably spend the next 2.5 hours just reading their resumes if we wanted to do that, because they are all that good. Ten-pin, no problem for Norman, and Rick Manier stepping up on the right. He's struggling here early, but I've seen him bowl exceptionally well at this event and elsewhere. It just takes a minute sometimes to get settled in.
Yeah, I hear you there.
It's taken me 14 years and still not quite settled in yet. Four teams on today's squad. There's Johnson, 467. So she has 4 strikes, 6 frames. Yet to have a spare. Maybe this one. So we get 2. We're through 6 frames. Let's look up top and see how things are unfolding here for the Brew Crew and Stormy Norman Pro Shop.
I haven't seen the 4.67 picked up, but the 4.610. Seen that picked up 3 times this year. So if the pin's hard enough, they may bounce back. Quick note for somebody who may be coming out. If you need that spare to take the lead, give it a little extra and it might do it for you. And speaking of almost taking the lead, you mentioned the doubles lead, currently held by Matt McNeil and Charles Vachon. Jeff Fair and Ken Abner gave it a heck of a run last night. They're in the 530 doubles and singles squad. Finished with 1462. Good for 3rd place right now. Very nice 280 game. Game number 3 for Jeff Fair. Needed 530 to take the lead. They had to go out from about the 4th frame on, 5th frame on. Almost got there. So good bowling to those gentlemen. Steve Fair and Eddie Grimm also on that pair. Ken Jesse was about a pair over.
And how did they fare? That's right, I got jokes. We're gonna see a 710 picked up here on lane 25. No, sir. Robin Romeo getting comfortable. Big double for her. Romeo, one of 7 women to roll an 800 series at the Women's Championships. Let's see if she can be the first to roll one at both. It's in 93 years of history at that event, just 7 women. We appreciate everybody joining us. If you checked in late, this is USBC Media Relations Manager Matt Canizaro and Media Specialist Emil Williams Jr. Also the Managing Director of Longevity here at the Open Championships. So if you're approaching your 50th year, please make sure you come by and see Emil because he'll find you anyway. This is day 100 of the 2012 Open Championships. We're watching Team USA member Liz Johnson try to get it done here on lanes 25 and 26 at the Baton Rouge River Center. One of 5 live stream broadcasts in 8 days. A lot of great bowlers coming through, and we're here to show them off to the world. As Liz rolls the 10 pin. Pats herself on the back. One of the keys to succeeding as a team here at this year's event, at least, is getting off to a pretty good start. We saw the defending champs struggle in game 1 and fall short just 2 nights ago. So I think if you can shoot 1,000, a little bit more in game number 1, lanes will likely open up and you can finish big, put up a nice number. Game 1 of 3. We did get off to a little bit late start today. Got the lanes oiled up as fast as we could.
You know, the tough part about the first game of team play, you know, really trying to get off to that good start. Everyone would like to at least shoot a grand, probably preferably 1050. And if you really get lucky, 1100. But, and sometimes that happens. We've seen that happen. In fact, I don't think there's any luck involved in what those young men did who are leading the team event right now with 34-01. Nicholas J's Pro Shop 2. 11:15, 11:65, 11:21.
Well, as we learned that night, we were not as familiar with them as perhaps some of the more experienced players here. Those guys had a handful of first-timers on their pair, and second-year bowler Trevor Yonan shot 300 in his debut last year, so they're the real deal. They do bowl at the college level. They bowl league together on a 5-person team, and the entire year is spent working together, communicating, and it all came together here. They did everything right, and of course the most important thing is they filled frames and had 8 holes the entire night, and now they're the team leaders here. Wisconsin, notorious, of course, for turning out very talented players. The history of this event. And you grow up understanding what this tournament's all about and what it takes to succeed and what it means to succeed here. Those guys are the next generation from the Cheese State, representing well. Yeah, that score's been on the board for months now. Seen a lot of great teams come in and not come anywhere near that, so just a testament of how amazing that night was here for those youngsters. So sure they're going to check in at some point today, and they're likely on the edges of their seats checking the leaderboards every day. And will do so until July 9th when the last team event is over. It'll be interesting to talk to them when they're all done. You know, should they hold on and see what was tougher? Getting it done and putting up the score?
Or the weight.
Or the weight. 4-month wait should they win this thing. But they looked like they were having a great time when they were doing it. It looked like it was just laid back, relaxed. Just a regular night with friends.
It's tough to create that environment. Such a tournament like this. Of course, you try to. That's the goal, be as comfortable as possible. So you can get to that level. Probably got a good chance.
Let's see if Liz Johnson can get comfortable again here. Looking for her third double of the day. Unfortunately, the first two separated by splits. Great shot there from Liz. We did not get to talk to these players before today's team event to see what they would be throwing. Liz on staff with Ebonite International. I believe that her contract allows her to throw any ball that comes out of Hopkinsville, Columbia track, hammer, or Ebonite. Donna Connors step up on the right lane. Donna plays a huge role in the service side of the industry. In her big event, the Lucy Bono Memorial Striking Against Breast Cancer Mixed Doubles Tournament. It's a long name, known simply as the Lucy.
Everybody knows it though.
Everybody knows about it. The players come in from all across the country. Some of the best in the game. Shannon Pluhowski, Tommy Jones, Parker Bone, Carolyn Doran Ballard. That event held in Houston at Palace Lanes, one of the bowling centers owned by Bill Lillard, our very own 8-time champ. But the Lucy takes place the weekend of July 20th. And that event, entries go out in January, I believe, and well before March, it is filled up, sold out. They get about, I think 88's the number of teams that they can fit in there. A very prestigious event, so prestigious in fact, that it is now part of the PBA schedule. So if you are a PBA member and you win that event, you'll qualify for a regional title. Last year's winners, I believe, were Shannon Pluhowski and Tommy Jones for the third time in 4 years. I did not get to bowl. I was there to watch. Got my entry in too late. Got on the waiting list. It was very entertaining. A lot of great bowlers, great scores. A fun weekend. And they really make a whole production out of it. Of course, the goal to raise money for breast cancer research. All kinds of fun tied to that event. Raffles and games and prizes and giveaways and gimmicks and all kinds of good stuff. So check that out. You can go to pba.com, find out more about that event and its history. The shirts they're wearing today, they're high five jerseys, pink and black, of course, in support of the fight against breast cancer. And Butch Cooper checking in the chat room, a local bowler friend, Louisiana, and a participant in the Lucy. And he's probably the best dressed participant at that event as well. So if you haven't heard about his his efforts. I believe last year the deal was he raised a certain amount of money for the cause, and if he did, he had to wear a pair of pants that were so loud you could probably hear them from Chicago, Mr. Williams. And all for a great cause, of course.
Where was this?
This was
At the Lucy?
At the Lucy.
Were
That
they
was
pink?
They were all kinds of colorful. Fluorescent, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Checkerboards or polka dots or something crazy. Turn our attention back to Liz Johnson, working on a double, looking for her first three-bagger.
He's got a push.
Almost gets a break, leaves just the 10.
Shot from Donna, their first strike of the 10th frame. Liz converts the spare. First spare for Liz. First two opens of the split variety. First one's actually a 1-2-4-10. The last being a 4-6-7.
We're in the 10th frame, so let's take a look at the scoreboard real quick. See what we're dealing with here as game one comes to a close here. Again, time flies. We're 100 days in, and game one today of the 230 team event already over. Our next live stream broadcast will be Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and those gentlemen, Armstrong Printing. Those guys actually sitting in the front row right behind us, or in front of us, or something, right near us. Dave Armstrong, Ronnie Horton, Doug Becker, newly inducted Orlando, Florida, Bowling Association Hall of Famer. These guys sure to put on a good show. They've been here for a few days. Checking out the action here. And then we'll be right back with you the next day, Thursday, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. Brent Wolf, trying to see if he can hang with Matt McNeil. Wolf, a very talented left-hander, won the 2002 USBC Masters. Famous for throwing his urethane blue hammer. And he has thrown it very well. He's our 2- and 3-year average leader, or 3- and 4-year average leader here at the Open Championships. 2,100 in 2009. 2,200 in 2010. And shot 300 last year in singles. So we'll see how he can follow up those 3 years.
There's a guy who just never fails to disappoint you. And you know, and the worst part about it, he's like a, he put up in any sport, he's just like that team or that one player where you know what he's going to do. He's going to tell you what he's going to do. and there's nothing you can do about it. Stop it at all. He would be that kind of athlete or player in a different sport because he's going to bring his blue hammer. He's going to strike.
Well,
and that's it.
Last year, he and I actually bowled on the same day, and he struggled a little bit in the team event, and I bowled relatively well. I felt like a hero. I felt like a Hall of Famer that day, and of course, as I was putting on my shoes for doubles and singles, he was strike after strike after strike for his 300, and quickly put me in my place. But for a shining moment, I felt pretty good. And then Brett talked to him earlier this year when he rolled the highest sport certified sport bowling series, 3 games in history, 886, and that was on a Open Championships lane condition. They put out, as soon as the pattern comes out, they put it out in their sport league. They were actually still bowling on the 2011 tournament pattern. Of course, that's the best way to stay sharp and prepared, is to challenge yourself with a sport bowling league condition. They do that. Now, also bowling in that league, 2 of our Team All Events champions, Andrew Kane and Chris Clerk. And of course, that hard work does pay off. And then once the 2012 pattern came out, the plan was to put that out and bowl on it until late May, when they all come to take their shot here. So we'll see how all that hard work pays off again.
That last shot was a great one from Carlos Gonzalez. He's got himself a double. Just one open for Carlos. That came back in the 4th frame. Don't leave a tough 8-pin on lane 26. Earlier, it seems to got things together, and an opportunity for a 3-bagger here. Leaves the 10th pin. Spare will give him 192. Involves Norman. 190 for Donna Connors. 196 for Mimi Nacarado.
Tough break there for Norman. Chops that spare, finishes with 166. Johnson going to step up for the 10th frame. Working on a spare. Gives that one left. Good break there. Leaves just the 4-pin. Appreciate everybody joining us today. Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Baton Rouge, and probably wherever you are as well, but thank you for making us part of your weekend. And Liz Johnson, I'm sure, and her teammates appreciate it as well. Liz finishes with 197. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Storm and Norman Pro Shop. All right, back to the action. Rick Manier going to close things out here, shoot at the 2-8. He has struggled here in game number 1. Spare will put him in the 150s. Also, by our side today, local bowling rider, Kent Lowe. He spends about as much time here as we do, and we appreciate it. Great coverage in the local newspaper, The Advocate. Kent has stories in there Tuesdays and Fridays. You can find those online as well. And scores every day. Part of Emil's responsibility here is get them the scores in the evening, and they'll run them in the paper every single day for the bowlers. Have their breakfast, check out some scores. So much appreciated. Great town for media coverage. Game 1 in the books. Storm & Norman Pro Shop, 971. The Brew Crew struggles with 873. Donna Connor is going to start things off here in game 2. Great shot there. Bet you got that ball drilled at Storm & Norman Pro Shop. If you're ever in the Houston area, stop by and visit, say hello. And get fitted, taken care of by a USBC Hall of Famer, Carol Norman. And speaking of the Hall of Fame, here's another, Jeannie Nacarado. Place is packed, Emil. Standing room only in the stands today, it looks like. A lot of local folks, LSU shirts, coming to check out some bowling. Obviously, it's being the weekend, kids are out of school. Why not come downtown? A lot to do, a lot of great restaurants to visit, sights to see. For those older folks, the Belle of Baton Rouge Hotel and Casino right next door. Play a little blackjack, come watch some bowling, have a snack. Great concessions here, as we know. Hence the bowl of gumbo earlier.
Tell you what, it's a great local community. They're always out here at the River Center checking out bowling. They also come out and support their own as well, which is very good. Had several local teams that we know and we've seen since we've been here bowl, and a lot of local friends and of course family, and they support each other.
There's a great local bowler right in front of us, Derwin Petrie, former Team USA member, a 2010 Team All Events champ. He's here an awful lot checking out this great bowling. His team will be here in just a few days. That team, of course, includes 2009 singles champ Bill Gergen, who's out there making waves on the senior tour. No doubt Derwin's been here taking some notes. We're going to share that information with his own teammates. Seen his name mentioned a couple times in the local paper as well. He's pretty good. For the first 13 years of my career here, today was the day that I would be out there getting it done. Some of our fellow Gainesville, Florida bowlers, Seminole, Florida bowlers on the lanes right now, 39 through 42. Our squad typically would have been the 830 squad. Looking at these great players in front of us, I'm kind of glad I'm not bowling today. Strike Adam Veneer, he's struggled in game 1. Shot 158, starts this game with a bang. One frame in the books, all clean, both teams.
Shot from Haney.
So Emil, I've lost count of how many broadcasts we've had so far this year, and in our careers, you're actually in on the ground floor of the USBC Open Championships live streaming efforts back in 2010. Certainly we have developed our setup here. It has evolved. Yeah, we've seen a lot of great moments and caught a lot of great memories. Anything stand out for you? Anything special? Let's just go with this year. There's just too much, but we have 18 on the schedule here in 2012. 5 of them this week. But we've seen it all. We've seen, of course, USBC Hall of Famer, 8-time titleist Bill Lillard, and we've seen McNeil shoot 847. We've seen some great ladies get it done here. What do you think?
Well, to date, I would probably have to go with, actually, I'm going to go with some that, although they didn't take the lead, but I thought John Gaines' group was pretty darn good. Their communication was very, very, very team oriented, as is what should be. Of course, and it's no different than other teams, but at that particular point, and especially the way they started out, things weren't going the way they had planned either. And they had a team meeting. They huddled up right then and there at the end of the 5th frame, talked over some things, and went on and have a successful team event. And I thought that was very nice to see. Sean Lee had the front 10, I believe, as well. Talented bowler from Colorado. So that group was also interesting, of course. While, of course, Matt McNeil doing his thing like he has done for now 3 years running. And the excitement, of course, surrounding Turbo 2-1 Grips wants title defense as well. I thought the doubles guys too, Brandon Terabek and Chad Reefer, were pretty good. I'm going to go with all of them.
All right.
How about that? There's no one standout moment for me thus far. We've had several good broadcasts and learned a lot. We hope the viewers have learned a lot. They've tuned in, of course, and we appreciate that. But they all have resonated in some way, shape, and form for me, personally. How about yourself?
Well, as you said, it's really hard to pick just one. They all offer something different, as you mentioned. Gaines and his crew really epitomized the whole teamwork, communication. Same with Jeff Riggles and his guys. Strategy, what it takes to succeed here as a group, and constant talking, communication, making moves all together. And then the nostalgia side of things, just knowing Bill Lillard is a pretty awesome opportunity. I'm glad I've had the chance to get to know him and his family over the years. And I just can't imagine what it would have been like to watch those guys in action back in the 1950s, 1956, when he took home 4 titles in a single year. Now bowling, of course, has evolved and changed a lot over the years, and Bill still celebrated 65 years, and he was averaging 200 here through 60 years of his career. He's now at 199. It's just an inspiration. So always appreciate the opportunity to see them and to show that off to the world. I wish it came across a little bit better on the live stream. Of course, we're up here just watching bowling, but the opportunity to sit down and talk to him after. We did put a video together for bowl.com, so definitely worth checking out. You know, then there's the excitement of somebody doing well. I mean, McNeil, the show that he put on was pretty awesome. Did it have the same feel, perhaps, as his record-breaking performance in 2010? Probably not. Or his 300, 800 on the broadcast last year? I don't think so. But still, the emotion that group shared is still very special as well. So I would have to agree. Hard to choose just one, and still many more to come. So we will see. Maybe we'll have this conversation again in July after we watch your team's success on the tournament lanes. Maybe we'll close out the year with our top 10 highlights for the 2012 Open Championships. But still, we're just 2/3 of the way done. Still 51 days to go after today. So I guarantee there's going to be a lot more memorable moments. And that just gives us the opportunity to produce our memoirs when it's all said and done.
Memoirs.
Memoirs. A couple of years away from hanging up the headphones, but we've still experienced a lot.
You gonna write a book?
I might do that. I might do that.
I'd read it, man.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Obviously, we share all the highlights and the news from this event. You can find all those stories on bowl.com. Going back, it's now my 8th year, so we've written a lot of stories. I almost said great stories, but I guess that's up to the reader to determine how great they are. But a lot of good moments chronicled. And I'd love the opportunity someday to share my take on those moments from the personal side of it, what they meant to me being a part of them. See if we can be a part of a moment for Carol Norman here. And she started this game with a double, leaves a 10-pin there, frame number 3.
You know, I hope there are some young ladies who maybe watching or have the opportunity to watch. So these 5 women are inspiring for anybody, but I think, in fact, I know they've inspired many young ladies across the world, down the way, or along the way, I should say. They continue to do so.
Liz Johnson,
young
of
women
course.
here, actually.
Liz takes her show on the road. She's an international sensation. Many medals won at PABCON Women's Championships. World champion. Great shot there. In just a single day, recently, Liz took home 3 gold medals. Mixed doubles, national all events, women's all events. Her and Steve Smith from Team USA getting it done at the PAVCon Champion of Champions. Liz from Cheektowaga, New York. Spends a lot of time in the Chicago area. Sport bowling high average winner not long ago. And Emil, also from Chicago. You run into Liz much?
We actually bowled league together for about 2 months. In the, I believe in the same very sport league that she won the high average in, the national high average. But yeah, cool, very cool. Liz is a great individual to talk to. So yeah, she has frequented the area a little bit. As you mentioned, travels often. There's something to bowl. He's usually going to be there. More times than not. She bowled for a couple months straight, and then, of course, the run of tournaments and commitments started to, or began to take place, of course, and she had to, of course, miss league and whatnot. Team USA events, other tournaments, the national events. And it comes back to league like nothing happened. In fact, I think by the time she got back, or right around that time, was about my time to exit for my own national events.
Well, next time hitch a ride. Just belong out there. Chip in for gas. And we'll be talking about your international success.
Perhaps one day. We can talk about Canizaro's international success as well. It's never too late. It is never too late. You could be 50 and make Team USA.
My international success thus far is limited to watching Derek Oaf win the World Cup in Mexico.
That's pretty good.
That is also the extent of my international travel.
That is pretty good.
Lost my cell phone in a taxi.
Sounds like this story could get interesting.
I ended up getting it back. Oh. Now every taxi in Hermosillo, Mexico was white with black numbers on it. That was it. If numbers at all, or just white cars driving around town. So no idea which one we were in. And somehow we decided let's call the number, see if somebody will answer. Maybe somebody who speaks English. And it just happened to work out that the taxi went back, and there's another bowler in it, a coach from another country. Answered the phone, talked to our Team USA coach, Jerry Edwards at the time, and we arranged a rendezvous to return said cell phone. Pretty panicked feeling. Going to another country and losing contact with the rest of the world.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine losing my phone right now. Our phones have really taken precedence in most people's lives. Your life is stored in your smartphone, in your iPhone, in your Galaxy S, in your BlackBerry. Names, numbers, contacts. Email, everything. To lose that in a different country, of course, that puts just a tad bit more worry, if you will.
You know who goes through more cell phones than anybody I know? There's Liz Johnson. I will talk to her every couple months or so, and 9 times out of 10 I'll send her a message, and her response will be, "Well, who is this?" "This is Matt." "Oh, I knew that. The number looked familiar, but I got a new phone, lost all my numbers." Actually, that just happened yesterday. Want to make sure that she would be here and her teammates, so they get their appropriate recognition in the squad room and out on the lanes. But she is very easy to get a hold of and always reliable. Says she'll be somewhere, she'll be there. So never a doubt. We are now in frame number 5 here in game 2. That deserves a look up at the scoreboard. Got a terrible start for Storm and Norman Pro Shop 971. It's actually almost 30 pins higher than our defending champs a couple nights ago. But those guys followed it up with a huge 1188 and then 1062 for 3197. So a great effort from Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, but going to be short of back-to-back titles. Their anchor bowler, Mike Shady, bowled 1900 or better for the 17th consecutive year. Like it was nothing. It was effortless.
You mentioned on a couple of broadcasts ago just, you know, what 1900 was, and just 635. You know.
That was before I went out there and shot a couple of 535s.
And that number just seems so, it's not a lot, but it's a lot here.
Yes, it does not sound like much. But once you get out there, it's a totally different story.
There's a lovely smell of popcorn right around the area. I think just to the right of us, popcorn maker behind the grandstands there is off and running. In fact, they're right there.
A lot of great snacks inside the building. Interesting choices and some Cajun Louisiana flavor as well. So some families in the stands today checking things out, having a snack, some popcorn as you mentioned. But you will not go hungry in Baton Rouge, that is for sure. Well, you might, but
I will. A lot of good eats.
Great shot there. Almanier. 5 in a row. Start things off here in game 2.
Great shot by Carol Norman as well. Double spare, double for Carol. It's LJ. Shot for Liz too. Nice messenger for Bubba Haney. He has a 5-bagger.
So as we talked about a lot, once the lanes start to open up, and of course the strategy, break them down towards the outside of the lane this year with some surface that creates some room to the right. And as things open up, scores tend to go up in game 2 and 3. So the key is to grind out game number 1. Get as much as you can. That could be the difference. Unless you are on Nicholas J's Pro Shop 2. And then you are even Steven. 1,100 plus all 3 games, so we don't see that very often. But they were consistent from the start. Struck a lot, filled their frames. Now they are 51 days away, possibly being the team champs. Shot there from Gonzalez. Now Paul Manier is going to step up. He's got a 5-bagger. Looking to stay perfect. Nakarado rolls him around. That'll loosen your arm swing up a little bit. Get a cool break like that. Great shot there. See, that one looked like it was a little bit right off his hand, but they have created some room. And of course, this year's pattern, 39 feet. Plenty of back end reaction, and he took advantage of that there for a 6-bagger. I actually had no idea coming in today who their crossing team was here. Obviously, this has been planned. Both teams from Houston, Texas. I just could not remember for the life of me who Storm Norman's Pro Shot bowled with. Now we know the mystery is solved. These guys are very accomplished in their own right. If I'm the guys on 27 and 28 right now, I'm going to be watching the pair next to me, asking for autographs and pictures. It's like a pro-am out there today. I'll say from personal experience, it is a very cool opportunity to be able to bowl alongside somebody you've looked up to. I had the chance to bowl with Kim Terrell Kearney this year. She was very popular with our team. They're appreciative of the opportunity. A lot of pictures taken. Great shot there by Liz Johnson. Take a picture of that.
Gave a little extra oomph on that one. I think she liked that one.
Still trying to figure out what she's throwing today. I was trying to make a guess from back here, but I don't want to be wrong. So maybe we'll check it out at some point. Walk down there. A lot of great releases coming out now in the next couple weeks from Ebonite International. Liz, of course, on staff. So likely throwing the latest and greatest. But I have a feeling, no matter what she was throwing, she's still going to be great.
Fair assessment.
However, in my case, I bowl great because of my equipment. And when I bowl bad, it's because of the lanes. It's never me.
I hear you, man. It's never.
Never.
That was a good shot you threw. It just chucked up. That gutter shouldn't have been there.
So the Brew Crew really picking things up here in game 2. Or in frame 7. They have 1 open frame thus far. A lot of strikes on the board, of course, filling frames otherwise. That's how you get it done here. They started with a rough 873. So they got a lot of work to do. If you're curious about what it takes to earn a prize check here at the Open Championships, you can find the loaded cash numbers on bowl.com. Go to the Open Championships page. You can find the scores tab in the top module or the scores information box just below that. Also find some great information about our year-long bracket products. The Bowlers Journal Championships standings updated every Monday. Bowlers Journal being held across town at Metro Bowl. And those guys get things started right around 10 a.m. every day. No squad time, just show up as lanes are available. Get out there, 4 games. Manier still perfect through 7. What do you think, Mr. Smith? We saw all kinds of excitement last year. Mr. Smith. Wow, sorry, sir. Mr. Williams. Mr. Smith was in town.
He was.
Aaron Smith was here for the last couple days. He, of course, is our associate at the Women's Championships. He did not throw 7 in a row, however. I believe he said he did not even throw 2 in a row in doubles and singles last night. Anyway.
I gotta tell him that. Gotta let him know. Apparently we look alike.
Yes. Very hard to tell Emil Williams Jr. and Aaron Smith apart. Now, Emil, you said a couple minutes ago about that gutter. And Donna Connors, unfortunately, found it. She started this game with a strike, but has struggled since. Tough spare here.
That's good. Yeah.
Gets 8. Let's have a look up at the scoreboard here. We are in frame number 8 of game 2. Right now the spotlight on Paul Manier, front 7. Rick Manier, 299 in 2010 National Bowling Stadium. See if he can be one up tier on our live stream broadcast.
Tough break for Nakarado. 479. definitely picked up the pace.
The number they're chasing, 34.01. And if I remember correctly, 32.27 will get you a piece of the top 10 so far. 2/3 of the way through the 2012 Open Championships. Gonzalez stepping up on lane 25, looking for a 3-bagger. A lot of strikes on the board for the Brew Crew this game. And there's one more.
That last shot just gave us a glimpse of the area that they've created. Defined hook spot down lane.
Romeo leaves the 4-pin. I think what we're seeing here, as we watch Manir.
Yeah.
Great shot. Leaves the 10. But, the Brew Crew able to generate a little more speed here in game 2. And as the lanes open up, break down towards the outside. Yeah, they have no problem getting the ball down the lane. But the ladies, you can see the ball hooking early. And they do not generate the speed, so they're going to have to probably ball down or move left at this point. Tough break there as he misses the 10-pin after the front 7. As Norman goes high, gets the 10 out, leaves just the 3. Looks like she was throwing the nano. Made by Storm. Rick Manir gets a break for a double. 4-pin goes late.
Possibly Nano Pearl.
Carol Norman having a great game here in game 2. She actually was working on a 4-bagger for that. Shot crept high for the 3-pin. A little chilly in the venue today. Gotta keep the bowlers cool. Johnson starting to heat up here in game 2. Working on a 3-bagger. Great shot there.
Wow. What a shot.
Tell you, if I had a guess on that ball, I mean, it looks an awful lot like the new Classic U2 from Columbia.
It's a good guess.
But
my first thought was no, but the more I think about it, I think you might be right. Here's Haney. Crosses over and gets the carry. He'll take that. Gets out of the splits.
looks like USBC Managing Director of Media and Events, or whatever his title is now, Pete Treadwell. The USBC Twitter guy has been busy on the lanes. Looks like he picked up a victory today in Texas. Congrats, Mr. Treadwell. Let's check Twitter, see if that's on there.
That 10 out of there, Carlos. Let's get it going. This guy's putting the game together here. Should be hopefully around the 1100 mark.
We do have a interesting question in the chat room. It says, how come WPBA bowlers can bowl in the Open Championships, but PBA bowlers cannot? And the answer to that is that there has not been a ladies tour since 2003. So the PWBA closed its doors in the summer of 2003. And those ladies all went on to have careers in other areas of the world. We actually do allow PBA members at the Open Championships. You just cannot be an exempt player on the PBA National Tour. So there's about 58 bowlers or so not eligible for the Open Championships. Those are the guys you see on ESPN typically every Sunday out there week in and week out making a living at the PBA Tour. Classified as exempt players. But regional pros, PBA card holders are allowed at the Open Championships. Limited to 2 on a team and 1 on a doubles team. And Liz Johnson, of course, has chased the PBA dream. As a PBA member, has gone out there and won PBA regional events. And finished second on the national tour. So I believe she would be the only PBA member on this team. The rules and other information for the Open Championships can be found on bowl.com. On the Open Championships page, there is a box for just that, rules and information. And it explains, outlines that PBA rule a little bit better. But yeah, real simple. If you have a PBA card, 2 per team, 1 per double set. And the only bowlers not eligible are current exempt players or players who were exempt during the last calendar year. For example, Lenny Boris Jr. was previously exempt, was not for this season, could not bowl the Open Championships in 2011 or 12, and will be back on the lanes in 13. And Liz Johnson with a 5-bagger.
Nice shot from Donna Connors there, double. Now in the 10th frame as we take a look at the scoreboard.
Pin's definitely starting to fall here in game 2. And we see it every day. Teams struggle in game 1, sacrifice a little bit as they open things up, and they reap the rewards as the day progresses, as Bubba Haney, 3 in a row here. Connors doubles up. Looking to close things out strong. Does not. Game not going well for her. She started with 190 in game 1. And she'll be in the 150s here in game 2. Haney looking for 4 in a row. Leaves the 7-10. There's no question about what ball he's throwing today. The Storm Frantic. make a run at the 710 in the 250s. No matter what happens here, gets neither. Finishes with 255. To go along with 196 in the opener. Great shot there. 9 goes late for Nakarado. Seen her do that on TV many, many times. Still got it. We do appreciate everybody joining us today. About 300 people on right now to watch Team USA member Liz Johnson and her Hall of Fame teammates make a run here in Baton Rouge. 2012 USBC Open Championships, the Baton Rouge River Center. Looks like these ladies making the right moves here late in game 2 as the lanes transition. Gentlemen able to handle that transition with a little more speed.
Crowd continues to grow.
A lot of families in the building. That's great to see. Bring the kids out. Especially today to see some of the all-time greats. Speaking of all-time greats, yesterday and today we got to see Glenn Allison and Jimmy Schroeder. Together they have bowled 125 times at this event. 5 titles between them. Almost 300,000 pins. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration. Both of them members of the 100,000 pin club in climbing. Schroeder entered the year with just over 112,000. Allison at 109. Great to see those guys still at it. Schroeder will celebrate 65 years consecutive next year in Reno. And speaking of which, Minnie Tavaska celebrated 66 consecutive years at the Women's Championships this weekend. This year, that event being held at the National Bowling Stadium. 4 stories of bowling glory going on until the first week of July. And next year, history being made in Reno again. Isn't that right, Mr. Williams?
That is correct. Open in the Women's Championships will be held in the same city simultaneously for the first time ever. Open will be at the National Bowling Stadium. Women's will be down the street, the Convention Center.
We're going to go ahead and build 44 lanes, I believe is the final number, inside the Reno Sparks Convention Center, the very same building that hosted the Open Championships in 1977, 1984, and 1990, before the National Bowling Stadium came to be in 1995. The opportunity to have both events in the same city in back-to-back years means that, one, we only have to build the lanes one time, which will save a few dollars there. And then families can travel together when we can bowl both events in one trip. They can bowl with their husbands and friends And that, of course, opens the door for all kinds of other mixed side events, family events. We will see. Still a lot on the drawing board. But don't miss out. If you'd like to register for 2013 Open or Women's Championships, go to bowl.com. Each tournament page has a register now option. And a brand new registration system allows you to go in there. As soon as you pay your entry fees, you can select your times, your squads from what's available. First come, first serve. And a brand new schedule at the Open Championships next year. Back-to-back team events at 3 and 7 p.m. And only 3 doubles and single squads per day. Why is that? Because we are changing the format. Instead of 4 bowlers on a pair for doubles and singles, we're going to have 6. And you bowl all 6 games on the same pair of lanes. So we were able to cut things back from 5 squads to 3. And the main reason there is to provide fresh oil for every single squad of competition moving forward. So every squad, team, and doubles and singles will be contested on fresh oil. So a lot of great changes at the event and signing up for the event. So check all that out and much more on bowl.com. Mike Flanagan, InsideBowling.com, checking in from across the street at the bell, getting some rest before his big team event tonight. Mike was on our broadcast just the other day. Offered some insight. Thanks for checking in. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard as Liz Johnson registers another strike, so things falling into place nicely for her here in game 2. She started the day with 197. A lot of strikes, but a couple splits kept her from a bigger score. So a great effort here in game 2 for both teams. The Brew Crew started the day with 873. Things did not go well. But as we've seen many times, considerable score upgrade here in game 2 and still not done. Liz making it look easy. Another strike here gives her 260.
She has a tendency to do that.
Once she gets locked in, she is unstoppable. Yeah. Still trying to get a look at what she's throwing. Possibly an outburst. No. I'm going to head down there in a minute because I'm just kind of curious.
Don't see any red in that ball.
Well, we'll find out here in just a minute. 260 for Liz Johnson. If Doug Becker and Ronnie Horton will sit down, we can take a look at the scoreboard. Everybody shifting seats, making a run for the snack bar.
It's like halftime.
Halftime, grab a quick bite.
Intermission.
2 games in the books, 11:57 for the Brew Crew, so huge. Game 2. See if they can keep that going in game 3. We're making up some time today. We're running a little bit late earlier. It is just about 5 o'clock here in Baton Rouge. Thanks everybody for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Sundays are for bowling. We're live at the Baton Rouge River Center 2012 USBC Open Championships. And Emil, I'm going to run down, find out what's going on, and I'll be back with you in just a few minutes.
See you later.
Wow.
Matt's going to go get us some news and notes. We'll be back in a jiff, of course. Meanwhile, still bowling to take place. Good shot from Corey Atkinson on the 25. Couple of strikes on the board already for Brew Crew. Donna Connor started with the spare. Here's Nacarado. He gets them all a fall, so she starts with the strike. Gonzalez leads the dime. Romeo. A great 10th frame. Finished with 194. Shots look just like that in the 10th, and she starts the third game with a strike as well. 10-pin, no problem for Carlos Gonzalez. 873, 1157 for the Brew Crew from Houston. 971, 1020 for Storm and Norman Pro Shop, also from Houston. Here's Norman. A great shot from Carroll. A Hall of Fame pair, if you will. 4-pin for Paul. Here starting with the front 7 in game 2. Curious what these 10 bowler shots first 2 games. I'll run that down for you real quickly. For Brew Crew, Bubba Haney 196, 255. Corey Atkinson 151, 211. Let's take a look at the shot from Liz Johnson. And dare I say she's locked in. Carlos Gonzalez 191, 254. Paul Menier 177, 244. And Rick Menier 158, 193, 873, 1157. And for Storm and Norman Pro Shop, Donna Connors 190, 154. Jeannie Nacarado 196, 177. Robin Romeo 222, 194. Carol Norman 166, 235. And Liz Johnson 197, 260. 971, 1020. So a good first frame for both teams. No opens and 3 spares. And Haney with the double. Again, this is day 100 here at the 2012 USBC Open Championships. Lots going on in the first 99. Seen all of our, no, not all, 4, I should say. Regular division champions come back to defend, or attempt to defend. Unfortunately, none of them have been successful. We do have one more on deck. The Team All Events champions from a year ago, K&K Bowling Services 5. Won last year with a total of 10,283. See if they can repeat the magic. Matt Wagon was our first returning champion to make his return. Of course, Wagon, famous here at the Open Championships, the first bowler in history to roll back-to-back 800 series. 806 in doubles and 826 in singles to take the regular singles and regular all events titles at 2268 all events. He came back in April, and now just this past week, a few days ago, as we mentioned earlier, regular doubles champions were back in town. Chad Reefer and Barrington Terabek gave it a good run as well, finished with 1371 in doubles. Both of them were well over 1900 for all events, so great bowling to those gentlemen. Very nice individuals as well. And just a couple of days ago, in fact, Friday night, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips won. In town, packed house, of course. Stage was set for another dramatic finish as last year. They ended things with the highest team game in Open Championships history with 1281. Propelled them to a 34-73 regular team title winning score. And this year, at 1062 game 3, or 31-97 total. Pretty good score. But they were unable to eclipse the 3401 mark. And now just one champion left. And they will be here in just a few days. Looks like Canizaro's back. He's got some notes, some information.
Yes, sir. I am back. Let's start with Liz Johnson. I know what I meant to say, and I didn't say what I meant. Of course, my expertise in bowling balls is in the ebonite realm, and I meant to say burst, and I said outburst, but it is indeed the burst, kind of maroon and gray. Has some surface on it, and it makes it look a little bit more gray from here. We actually ran into a similar thought the other night watching the Turbo guys. They were both throwing, McDowell and Shady were both throwing the Ebonite Pursuit S, and with some surface on it, it looked really blue. Whereas when you shine it up, the purple really shows. So Liz throwing the burst with some surface. The other ladies all throwing Storm equipment, all throwing different balls. Carol Norman, the Nano. And then between the other three, switching around, the Victory Road, Pearl, Marvel, and of course the latest and greatest that Storm has to offer. So there's the answer. Of course, you can tell by their jerseys what their equipment of choice is. Liz, her shirt says Ebonite. Carol Norman, Carol Stormin Norman. There's an indicator. Usually we try to get that information before we get started. Didn't have a chance to talk to these ladies before we bowled today, but there's the rundown. And of course, we saw their strategy unfold as everybody on the pair played toward the outside of the lane in practice, so no need to really get into their game plan prior to that. And of course, both teams reaped the benefits of their strategy in game 2. 11:57 for the Brew Crew, or 10:20 for Storm and Norman Pro Shop. And minus that spare miscue, things definitely unfolding very well for the Brew Crew this game. A lot of strikes on the board, just like game 2. But of course, the thing that's going to hold them back is game 1, just 873. So rough start, but way to come back from that. And I have a feeling we're going to see an awful lot of strikes the rest of the way for a pretty solid number. Nakarado misses right. Very hard to get the ball back. You see players with a lot of hand sometimes. Shorter pattern this year, 39 feet. But without the revs, or if you throw it too hard, no chance. First open here in game 3 for the Blue Crew. Great shot from Romeo. She gets a little more on the ball. And you can see that great reaction off the pattern. She's got a little bit of polish now, and as soon as it hits that friction at the end, makes a left turn for a great shot. Hallman here back on it. Started last game with the front 7. Spare double here in game 3. This is the 3rd of 5 live stream broadcasts this week. If you'd like to check out the schedule, it's littered with Open Championship stuff coming up. You can find that on bowl.com. Go to the right side of your screen, live stream schedule. Next up, Wednesday night, Armstrong Printing. Dave Armstrong, Doug Becker, Ronnie Horton. I believe that team also includes Rick Hara, a doubles champion here at the Open Championships. So looking forward to that. Those guys always very entertaining and a threat, no doubt. Made a run at it in 2010, came up a little bit short. And then the very next day, 5:30, 6:30 Eastern, Brett Wolf. And I'll bet you $1 he's throwing a blue hammer at some point.
At some point, yes. I can't remember if I recall him throwing something other than a blue hammer last year. I thought he did for a little while.
Well, that's his go-to. That's a Old Faithful. Everybody's got one. Mine, the Ebonite Game Breaker. Seems timeless and reliable. And for Brett, actually, when he shot 886, the highest sport 3-game series in history, I believe he did not throw that ball. So, but if he ever gets in a jam, pulls that out, gets back on track. So we'll look forward to seeing him. Another talented left-hander. That's next Thursday. Oh, I'll be spending a lot of time here Wednesday and Thursday, it looks like. That's what we do. Bowling happens every day, 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. That's what it's all about.
I'll be here often.
It certainly beats the cubicle life. I know you have not had the opportunity to experience that just yet. Fresh out of college, the youngster, Emil Williams Jr.
Well, it's been a little while now. In fact, this is the 3rd year here. It doesn't seem that long ago, but that is indeed the case.
Well, I'm glad to take advantage of this opportunity to play this role, serve the sport as we do up here in the booth. Come to work every day, no idea what's going to happen, who's going to step up, who's going to show up. So while every day is the same schedule-wise, different faces. And I came back and heard you telling the Matt Wegan story. Gentlemen, we did not know prior to last year's excitement. Unfortunately, I missed that. I was on my way to Syracuse to see these ladies, as a matter of fact, at the USBC Women's Championships and Queens. So while I was getting ready to watch Carol Norman shoot 298 at the Women's Championships, you saw history unfold. Something you'll never forget, I'm sure. And I'm sure you didn't wake up that day expecting that. How could you? It never happened in 108 years. And now we'll never forget it.
Forever documented.
Thanks to technology, The video of that great feat, Matt Wagon, back-to-back 800s, will live on. You can find that on Bowl TV. Go to bowl.com or youtube.com/Bowl TV. A lot of great moments.
A lot of great moments, a lot of great broadcasts. Not only from the Open Championships, but various other live streaming events as well. All captured. And the potential here to capture some other great moments.
Liz Johnson, I believe, finished last game with 9 in a row for 260. Now she's got the first 3 here in the finale. Took her a minute to get comfortable. She struck a bunch in game 1, a couple of splits, kept her at 197. She'll step up here. Doesn't appear that she's moved much, if at all. Still playing the outside part of the lane. That is her A game, her strength. Mixes them up for a 4-bagger or a 13-bagger if you're keeping count.
That's impressive. Don't know if she made a move off that shot though. Right lane in the 3rd frame was a touch high, and that shot a touch line. Might have made a move, but nonetheless, she's got 13 in a row.
Liz, very good at throwing the ball hard. Gets it down there, gets it done. Recently got it done at the USBC Queens. Made the step ladder. Bowled well on TV, and unfortunately ran into, well, unfortunately for her, ran into eventual champion Deandra Asbeatty, who claimed her first major title with a win over Hall of Famer Carolyn Doran Ballard. That show was star-studded. Doran Ballard, Asbeatty, Liz Johnson. Don't need to say much about them. Their resumes speak for themselves. Josie Ernest and Stephanie Nation. Don't really have to say much about any of them. They certainly have the credentials. Everybody knows who they are. So Liz finished 3rd at that event. She has won it before, and probably will win it again.
Another sign of some good area. Corey might have pulled that ball just a hair inside and it held line. Got a little hold in the middle. Very interesting how a pair of lanes, or one lane for that matter, can be broken down into something that becomes favorable for everyone. While folks may not think that bowling doesn't require any strategy, there's always a game to be played. Try to develop the best way to attack the pins.
Gail Norman attacking some pins here in game 3. She starts with the front 5. Throwing the ball a little bit harder here as the lanes continue to break down. Excellent results. She struck a bunch in game 2. Shot 235. Had a rough start, 166, but she is clearly back on track. And if you'd like to take advantage of our side events here at the Open Championships, can you say reverse brackets? A lot of great prize money winning opportunities available in Baton Rouge. Johnson looking for 5 in a row of her own. Never a doubt.
They're throwing no doubters out there.
We got word earlier that Liz was in town at the Bowlers Journal Championships yesterday, I believe, with Dave Armstrong and Horton and those guys, who she has bowled with in Chicago, has bowled the Peterson Classic with them. So Liz taking advantage of the other opportunities in town to test her skills, win a couple of bucks.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I'm fairly positive she won the Peterson last year or 2 years
familiar.
ago.
That event.
That's no gimme, of course.
That event a little more challenging than most. But I bowled it once. I know it's in your hometown. Maybe you can shed a little light on that while we have a moment.
Well, to be honest, I've never bowled it.
Really?
That's correct.
Right there in your backyard.
I really haven't been home much past.
That's true.
6 years, 7 years or
Mr.
so.
Williams, the studious young man, off at Lindenwood University, winning national titles on the bowling lanes. Getting yourself a master's degree. Now you're officially the smartest and most talented person in this broadcast booth right now.
But I did watch one day, though. Had some folks that I knew bowling. In fact, I was heading back to school. I was coming down to bowl, and they were heading back, so I went and washed and rode back to school. Of course, there are various challenges at the Peterson. And I don't know everything, of course. So, and for those in the chat room, or if you know exactly how things go down at the Peterson, please let us know. But I've heard stories. Some lanes seem like 60 feet. Some lanes seem like they haven't been oiled. You have some. Seems like the ceiling's lowered on one lane or one pair, and various things like that. So it's definitely on the toughest to navigate. I believe you only get 2 balls. You only have 2 balls at the tournament. Most at least have a plastic ball, and I know a lot of people just only use their plastic ball. Throw it hard and straight. Try to knock down as many as you can and make spares. Can't remember how many games, though. I believe 6.
8 games?
8 games.
And usually it doesn't take much more than 1,600 to win that event.
If that.
So if you can average 200, you got a good shot. So that event, a fun type of event, of course, a lot of prize money and different kinds of opportunities, doubles and high games and squad prizes and all kinds of good stuff. But anytime you're bowling, promote the sport. Any chance you have to get out there on the lanes, take advantage of it for sure. Mr. Williams in your backyard. I'll be very disappointed if you do not stop there and bowl that event on your way home this year. Gary Brown tricked me into going, actually. We lived in Milwaukee. It wasn't a big deal. It's only a couple hours down the road. But he promised me White Castle if I went down there and bowled on their squad. And bribery gets you far in this world, especially that. And then, of course, we moved away. USBC headquarters now located in Arlington, Texas. Harold Norman about to step up on lane 25. Looking for 6 in a row. Here in game 3, she shot 235 in game 2. Looking pretty comfortable.
She's throwing some no-doubters. Hold, 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 carry.
Push that one in, and you said hold, but that's the difference in this year's pattern from last year. Less volume in the middle. There is no hold. Some teams attempt to create that by pushing oil down the lane. But if you miss in this year, you will pay the price. Of course, that's one of the challenges of a USBC Sport Bowling. You have to earn it here on the big stage. Be precise, make good shots.
Tough spare.
And right, make your spares.
Tough spare, that 310 something else. Couple of questions in the chat room, real quick to answer. The ladies have 1991 after 2 games. And Liz Johnson has the front 5 to go along with the back 9 in game number 2.
Liz takes a minute. She's gonna regroup. Shout out to Ram Sanchez upstairs in the embroidery booth.
My man Ram.
Stop by the USBC Sports Store, get you a souvenir Open Championship shirt. You want your name on it? Go see Ram. He's up there working hard. Got the live stream on in the background. Doesn't want to miss history. Liz Johnson working on 5 here in game 3. That's a 14 bagger for those of you counting along at home.
That's good. No doubters.
Seen Liz bowl a lot in the past 8 years. Win a lot, strike a lot. We were talking about the Peterson a minute ago. It's always good to get out there and have some fun on the lanes. Don't always have to be so serious. Go out there and just enjoy a good time bowling. There was a time we all went and bowled because it was fun, something to do with the family. Nice to get back to stuff like that every once in a while. That opportunity also available here in Baton Rouge. Go over to Circle Bowl, check out the 40 frame game. 1 game, 40 frames, all kinds of gimmicks and goodies along the way. Mulligans, bonus pin, paydays.
Sour grapes?
Sour grapes, that event, a handicap event. So something for everybody in Baton Rouge when you're in town for the Open Championships. But right now, Corey Atkinson focused. He's got a 4-bagger here, bowling great in game 3. Make that 5 in a row. He's got 151, 211 today. And now 6 strikes in 7 frames. The crowd continues to grow behind lanes 25 and 26 here at the Baton Rouge River Center. Cell phone cameras are coming out. I believe 8 women now have bowled 300 at the Open Championships. If I'm not mistaken, Shannon O'Keefe recently added her name to that list. They 300 in the team event last month. Liz bowls at 9:20 a.m. tomorrow. So I will be here to see her finish things out and promptly share the news with Emil, because that's what we do. Tough spare shooting for the Brew Crew here in Game 3. Giving away some pins. Carol Norman started this game with 5 in a row. Opened in the 6th and back on the strike train.
Quick shout out to my man John Sipich, repping the Des Plaines area, also known as Sip. He's big time.
Johnson going to take her time. Stepping up, working on a 6-bagger. This game, 15 overall. That's a bunch.
That's plenty.
There it is, 7. Sounds like the 5:30 squad in the squad room now. Getting ready. Definitely made up some time here. Game 3 coming to a close here in the team event. We're in the 8th frame. Do appreciate everybody joining us. The crowd continues to grow both online and in person. If you missed anything along the way, you can check out the recording after we're done here. Great shot there. Nakarado carries the 7. You can find the archive broadcast from today and every other day at youtube.com/BowlTV. Not just our stuff from the Open Championships, but Lucas Wiseman out and about all over the world. He was at the PABCON Champion to Champions tournament in Florida, where Liz collected some hardware, some gold medals. You can find all of that live streaming footage on our YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe, and you'll be able to be alerted about upcoming broadcasts. You don't want to miss out. Don't want to miss out on today's excitement. Spread the word. Tell everybody. Liz Johnson, front 7. Working on 16 in a row.
Like Carlos let one get away from him real quick.
That's easy to do here.
Seen it a couple of times.
3 off the right. You miss in. 3 off the left.
Be a lot of people from.
We saw a left-hander on lane 28. Did exactly that.
Yeah,
My very first shot in this building in 2005. 3 off the left. Made the spare, shot 235. Took me a minute to settle in.
Nice game. Nice game.
Very easy to do. Gotta
Empty
stay.
crowd. Look at it. Other folks again joining in. Watching online, of course. The people checking in from my neck of the woods.
There's even people in this building checking in online. They don't want to miss any of the excitement either. They're off in their various areas working hard to make the Open Championships run. Almost 24 hours a day. Liz Johnson now up 7 in a row. Trying to make it 8 here on lanes 25 and 26. Ball is on the lane. There it is.
Not even a doubt, man.
She had one that was real light on that lane early in the game.
LJ.
Just to keep things interesting, I think.
The dramatics.
My Gainesville crew finally realized we're up here, waving. They're missing all the excitement down here. They're bowling down on 39 and 40, sending their wives over. Keep an eye on Liz Johnson.
Another potential historic moment could be captured on our live stream. Everybody checking in.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard now as Liz Johnson trying to add her name to the record books. I just wrote about that a little bit in my blog this week. The a handful of folks coming in this week who are very accomplished outside of the Open Championships and always a threat to make some noise here. Liz Johnson has a solid career, as Emil mentioned earlier. Her low, all events total 1864. But, of course, the greatest measure of success at the Open Championships was a 300 game, 800 series, or the ultimate, an eagle, a title on the tournament lanes. Liz in the record books, the third highest all events totaled by a woman, 21-17 in 2006. Bowling very well here so far today, working on a 17 bagger right now. 197, 260. Trying to give Matt McNeil a run for his money. McNeil leads all events, 22.02. Started with 792, added 847 in doubles, and struggled in singles, 553. Something like that. But still, 2,200 for the third year in a row. Pretty solid outing. But Matt, Liz is gunning for you.
Coming up on the 9th frame. 9th frame, right lane. This is around the time where everybody just kind of stops what they're doing.
Some out of respect, some in awe.
I think everybody's in awe right now. There's about 4 or 5 people bowling across 46 lanes right now. 48 rather. Help it, help it.
Ooh. So the run ends at 17. 8 here in game 3. She sails it past the head pin.
That one did not get off her hand good at all. And saw it right there. Never got in. Ball never got into a roll. Just kind of kept skating.
Well, when you have that quick ball speed, doesn't have a lot of time to change direction. So
it's fair though.
It's often going right where you throw it.
Other folks checking in. Sarah Levin back at the crib. Shout out to the lovely Shanice Graham as well.
Shanice Graham.
My loving girlfriend.
Emil Williams, live-in nutritionist.
If you need a dietitian, she'll take care of that for you.
That's right. She helps Emil figure out a way to eat 9,000 calories a day and still weigh 113 pounds. Need to get on that plan. She did come visit us recently. And she brought gifts, which is even better. It's always good to bring gifts.
Oh, man.
In appreciation, we gave Emil an extra day off.
What a nice guy.
Now I have to try to sweet talk her into letting you come back next year as we head to Reno.
That'll be an interesting conversation between you and her.
Well, absolutely.
Let me know how that goes. kind of want to listen in on.
We need to find a way to find a need for some sort of bowler nutrition plan or something. Get her a booth right there. Have a juice stand or do something so that you guys can both be there. I know eventually she's gonna tighten the reins a little bit. So we're in the 10th frame here, game 3. Came up quick. Here's a look at the scoreboard. The Brew Crew got off to a tough start, 873. Came back huge, 1157. A couple of missed bears here, slowing things down in game 3. Storm and Norman Pro Shop, 971, 1020. Making a run at 3,000 here. A great number, especially this year. Be a nice payday as well. Top 50 right now, about 3,100. Let's turn our attention back to USBC Hall of Famer and multi-time Women's Championships titleist Robin Romeo. This team includes future Hall of Famer Liz Johnson, Team USA member, and she's pretty much won everything there is to win. And 3 Hall of Famers, Jeannie Nacarado, Robin Romeo, and Carol Norman. So if you're a bowling fan, this is a place to be. Come out and see these ladies before they leave town tomorrow. They'll be back on the lanes at 9:20. You watched them on TV for many years. Now you can see them in person. Come on down to the River Center. Free and open to the public. You just have to pay for parking. Rowdy troublemakers in the stands. Armstrong, Becker, Horton. We'll see them on our live stream Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Don't miss it. Guaranteed to be an entertaining broadcast. Worth staying up late for. There's Robin Romeo. Double and 9 in the 10th. It's a big game here for Storm and Norman Pro Shop. Jeannie Nacarado 224, Romeo 217. So they've hit 3,000 with 2 bowlers to go. Carol Norman and Liz Johnson. So that's good for 5 out of 6 strikes, I'm going to guess right now.
It's a pretty good guess.
So what's the rundown for the top few bowlers in the lineup today?
Well, for Donna, she struggled a little bit. 190, 154, 161, 505. Jeannie Nacarado, 196, 177, 224, 597. Robin Romeo, 222, 194, 217, 633.
Well, Carol delivers the first strike. I guess 5 out of 6 for her and Johnson. Big game. Liz Johnson started this game with 8 in a row before missing the head pin right. The Brew Crew having a pretty good finish as well. Corey Atkinson, 151, 211. 248. Big finish for him. So those guys are going to clear 3,000 as well, despite 873 in game one. So nice comeback for them. Keep an eye on all these folks tomorrow, doubles and singles. We've seen Rick Manier shoot 299 here before. Here goes Norman. She's got a double and a 10th, 3-bagger overall. Her final shot of the team event. She gets 8. So now Liz has to deliver all 3 strikes for me to know what I'm talking about. 244 for Carol Norman. .530, doubles and a single squad on the move. We don't waste any time here as the lanes become available. Next squad comes out. That's how we keep things running smoothly from 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. Next year's schedule will change a little bit. Check out bowl.com for more info. Right now, check out Liz Johnson. Up in the 10th. Great shot. She does not miss much, Emil.
Of course, she'd like to have that 9th frame back. She took a little extra time in that 9th frame as well. But nonetheless, what was her string gap? She had the
17 in a row.
17 in a row.
And misses to the right, missed the head pin, spared it up. Crowd still checking things out. She's looking for a double here in the 10th. She liked that one. Wraps to 10.
I think that's the first wrap 10 we've seen from her.
She'll be in the 260s. Kind of curious what happened in game one. Obviously, we know she threw a bunch of strikes and a couple of unfortunate splits. Other than that, nearly perfect on the day. Johnson 197, 260, 267. 724. So she has got a good head start towards all events. Two more sets like that. Easier said than done, of course, but if anybody can handle it, it's her. Let's take a look at the scoreboard for these two teams. .3104. For Stormer Norman Pro Shop. The Brew Crew closes things out 30-58. 873, 1157, 1028. Liz Johnson leads the way for Stormer Norman Pro Shop, 724. 3104, they're going to be in the top 50. And that's going to do it for us today. The 530 squad on its way out. These ladies headed to the locker room and pack things up, go enjoy dinner on the town. And we'll see them tomorrow at 9:20. Appreciate everybody joining us on this Sunday afternoon. Go enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll be back with you on Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, Armstrong Printing, some familiar faces. And guaranteed to be a little bit of an excitement. So this is Matt Canizaro and Emil Williams Jr. Live from Baton Rouge, 2012 USBC Open Championships. That's going to do it for today, Emil. It's been real.
It's been real?
It's been real, Emil.
It's been real, the real deal.
The real deal. We are the real deal. And that's going to do it. That's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.